Hello Internet, welcome to my channel Arun Biotech. In this tutorial we are going to learn about average if and average if as function of Excel. Both the functions are really easy functions and we are using to check the average amount in the given data with a single criteria or a multiple criteria. So let's have an example and see how we can use these both functions in Excel. Let's begin. This is the topic. Welcome back, and now we have some query about the average amount of a given the sales rep here from the data. So we have here our data table and we have to find out the average amount of these 5 sales rep here by using a function called average if. So let's write the first equal sign, average. You can select from here average if. As we select it open the parenthesis, and our first argument is a range. Range is a sales rep range, where here in the table we select here by pressing a Control Shift down arrow key. After selecting the whole range, we give the absolute reference by pressing the key F4, press the comma. After pressing comma, it asks the criteria. Our criteria is sitting here in the sales rep Reinhold, comma, and now the next argument is the average range. From which amount we want an average. So we have our average amount here, and from this amount range, that is we are selecting by Control Shift down arrow key and pressing absolute reference F4, we selected our amount and close the parenthesis and hit the enter. As we hit the enter, we get the average amount of Reinhold from this amount range. So extra bonus tip is here, we can round up the amount by pressing a tab key here and come in the end, put comma and 0. So close the parenthesis and hit the enter. So we can make the average amount in a roundup. So it's like a bonus tip. And after this, if we copy this formula down under the column, we will get all the average amount of all the sales reps. So let's have a look. Click here and copy the formula down in the column, and now we have all the average amount for all the sales representatives here from the given table. Now we check our second example here. Here we have a 2 sales reps and they here given a 2 criterias. So by using a 2 criterias, we are going to use a function. It's called average if as. As we press the tab key, it opens the parenthesis and it asks us the first average range. Keep in mind, in the average if, it was asking a range of a person list, but here it is asking an average range, from which range amount we need our average. So first we select here by pressing Control Shift down arrow key and give the absolute reference F4, comma, and now our criteria, and now it asks us the first criteria range, from which range we want to give our first criteria. So our first criteria is a Reinhold and it's in this column from here. So again Control Shift down arrow key, absolute reference F4, comma, and we give our criteria, first criteria here, comma, and now it asks our second criteria range. Yes, because we have a second criteria as a Dashatinib. So in which column Dashatinib exists? Dashatinib is here, So we again select the whole column by pressing Control Shift down arrow key and press the F4 absolute reference, put comma, and after that it asks our criteria. We give the criteria here dashatinib and close the parenthesis and hit the enter. You can see it brings the amount for the Reinhold with the first criteria dashatinib, and here we can put roundup function like this. So as a roundup number we give our this whole function as a roundup number, comma, as a digit we need 0 digit and close up bracket and hit the enter. So it make the roundup completely. And now we will check another criteria where we have two criteria. Here Alex, sales representative, he must have to fulfill first criteria sorafenib and then VWR. If he have these both two criteria, then we want his amount average amount. So let's check how we will set these two criteria and get the average amount for the Alex in this condition. Again we put the equal sign, as we write earlier, average if function, we open the parenthesis, it asks again the average range. So average range is our here amount range. We give complete amount range by pressing Control Shift down arrow key and F4 absolute reference, comma, and now here it asks us first criteria range. First criteria range is Alex. The Alex is our first criteria and it have a range is here. So we select complete range by again Control Shift down arrow key, absolute reference F4, comma, and we select our first criteria here, Alex, comma. Now we have another Alex have a first criteria as a sorafenib and it is here, but first we have to choose its range, in which range sorafenib exists. So we comes here and we see here in this column sorafenib exists. We select whole column and again press the F4 key, comma, and our criteria. Now we have our criteria here. It asks us criteria range 2, criteria 2. So we give our criteria from here, comma. Now still VWR we have to give because Alex have a two criterias. So we choose the criteria range for the VWR. So where VWR exists in this data table, it exists in the company column. We select again whole column by pressing Control Shift down arrow key, press the F4 as the absolute reference, put comma, and it asks our criteria. So criteria is VWR. We close the parenthesis and hit the enter. As you can see, it again bring the amount for the Alex sorafenib with the VWR. And again the bonus tip, we want to round up this amount. Round up gives the whole average if as a number. We comes in the end, put comma because we don't want any decimal figures, put 0, bracket close, and enter. So you can see here we have very really nicely average amount of for the Alex as fulfilling the both conditions sorafenib and VWR. So guys, you see here is in this tutorial it's really easy to use both the functions average if and average if as. I will emphasize, please learn the average if as function because in this function you can use multiple criterias without filtering the data. I hope you like the video. Please, if you like to improve your Excel skills, please try to consider to subscribe my channel and give the one thumbs up. Thanks for the watching.